I'm kind of turning red right now because I'm talking about some really personal
stuff. Don't turn
red. So I retreated to nature for mental health purposes. And then kind of found myself like every time I go out into the woods by myself, like I'm a little nervous and, like it's dark and like taking brave steps little by little to, and then like pulling the trigger, harvesting your first animal and dragging it in yourself and cleaning it yourself. And it just kind of opened me up to like a whole different way of like viewing life and connection. And it made me not feel as empty. I was like, even though like you think you're taking life, so that's death. You think like, oh, well, this is a heartless act. Someone who doesn't hunt or isn't a part of that world or doesn't understand it, they kind of look at that as like, how do you just kill an animal? But it actually was the opposite for me. It kind of like gave me life and made me really appreciate life.
Welcome to the Bunkhouse Podcast, broadcasting from the confluence of outdoor recreation and nature connectivity. I'm your host, Josh Crumpton, founder of Spoke Hollow Outdoors and the Los Salvaje food truck. My life as a rancher, guide, foodie, and conservationist has provided the opportunity to meet some really great people. And the Bunkhouse is where we get to introduce them to you. In this episode, we talk with my amiga, sister from another mister, and professional game chef, Victoria Tori Loomis, a.k.a. The Gathering Girl, Beretta ambassador, and all-around superstar. We're joined by my co-host, the fishy dude himself, and our head fishing guide at Spoke Hollow Outdoors, Chris Cantrell. We do some jaw wagging, we talk hunting, fishing, cooking, and finding interconnections in the outdoors. With all that said, as per the usual, let's get this thing started. Well, it's been a minute. We are here today with my good friend, Tori.
Hi.
A.K.A. The Gathering Girl.
No G at the end of gathering.
Gathering. I'm sorry, I didn't pronounce it right.
I'm just kidding.
Tori, the Gathering Girl.
That's it.
Beretta ambassador.
Yeah.
All-star game chef. She knows all the other game chefs. She's the game chef to rule them all.
Easy. Easy.
And a good old friend of mine. We've known each other a while. We're getting started on the road of doing this professionally together, sort of around the same time. Well, she'd been cooking game for a while, but
I was still pretty new to it though. I was probably a year into it when we met. So yeah, we were both babies.
Yeah. And now look at us. We're all grown up. We're all grown up. And I've got a special co-host in the world here, Chris Cantrell.
Hey.
The man on the oars, our all-star in the water.
That's, yeah, I am.
You guys went out fishing this morning.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
How was it?
I caught my first fish on the fly.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah. It felt really cool. I definitely think that I can now go fly fishing if anybody wants to invite me.
We'll invite you.
Yeah. Well, so before when people would talk about fly fishing and stuff, I was just always like, wow, that seems like a lot. Just couldn't really chime in on those conversations because I didn't know what it was or how to go about doing it. But
did you call it fly flinging? Y'all gonna go fly flinging?
I have been saying that I'm a fly fisher woman, and I'm trying to remember that it's an angler.
Fly angler. A flangler. A fly angler.
It's an angler.
I feel like angler is just easier to say. Like fly fisher woman.
It's a mouthful. Lot. It is.
It's a mouthful.
It is. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, a fly fisher just sounds weird.
And it's is that a cat?
Yeah.
And you really could just say, I'm an angler.
Yeah.
I'm an angler.
It covers all bases.
And I know how to fly fish.
There you go. That's it. Yeah.
But you've been fishing for
all my days. Yeah, I've been fishing since I was a little girl.
What's your earliest fishing memory?
So I have a really good fishing memory. When I was about 9 years old, my grandfather and I were fishing for bull redfish in Grand Isle, Louisiana. And I remember like pulling some of those in and how much fun it was. And he loved fishing. So yeah. And we crabbed a lot. We would go to Grand Isle and run crabs, crab, I guess, trot lines with like chicken necks.
Oh, like not crab traps where they crawl.
Oh no, we ran like lines with chicken necks. And then we'd go scoop them up.
I used to do that for crawfish or crayfish. How do you say it?
Crawfish.
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 Crawfish? Is there a little L in it? Crawfish?
It could be. It could be.
Chris, what's your earliest fishing memory?
I was some lake in Colorado, and my brother and I were trying to hook a dead fish. Yeah. We couldn't catch anything. My dad would just like give me and my brother a Snoopy pole and send us out and ignore us. And there was this like dead rotten fish at the bottom of this lake we were fishing in, and my brother and I were trying to snag it with like a blue devil.
And nothing's changed. Snagging, still snagging them today.
I loved snagging a dead fish. I still remember the first fish I ever caught on a fly rod, though.
Tell me.
We were in Estes Park, and then it was a probably 10-inch brown trout, and I foul hooked it in the side.
Ooh.
On like a size probably 12 gold-ribbed hare's ear.
Oh, probably felt like a 20-inch.
Felt huge. It was fantastic, and I was probably 10 years old.
Huh.
I still remember it. So now, Tori, you can remember your first fish on the fly.
Yeah, I do. I remember my first fish on the fly was today.
Yeah. And I think we established it's a red ear.
A red ear sunfish.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were on the San Marcos.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It's pretty.
I just was really worried that I wasn't going to be able to. I didn't think it was, I don't know. I just didn't think I was going to be good at it, but I did it. It was fun.
You were fantastic.
And you're good. I heard it went well. I was bummed that I wasn't there. Did it rain on you guys?
Nope.
Didn't start raining until after we were finished.
Well, my first fish that I remember was a photo of it. I think I was like maybe 6 or 7 in this photo. Lake Buchanan. I don't even know I was using some sort of spin gear pole. A family reunion at Lake Buchanan. This is my mom's ex-husband, my adoptive father, Crumpton. And it was the Crumpton family reunion, which is a hoedown, throwdown. Because the Crumptons are country. And so I caught like a 6-pound bass. Fucking thing was huge. I mean, I've got this photo of me in some 70s white, like short shorts, the ones that everybody wore back then, and a striped like polo shirt, holding this fish. And I'm like 6 years old, and the fish is like almost like as long. It's like half my body. I only remember it because of the photo, because of childhood trauma. I think I blocked the rest of it out, but I'll always have that photo.
We were talking about bass today while we were fishing.
We saw a huge bass.
But we also listened to Robert Earl Keen, 5-Pound Bass. Have you ever heard that song?
Yes, I have, actually.
I'm telling you.
Can we play it now? We can't.
It's so good.
Did you guys play it? Did you?
Yeah, we did.
We played it loud.
Yeah.
We did.
Shortly after we saw
a 5-pound bass.
Like that might have been 7. That thing was huge.
He
Did not want anything to do with us. But we saw a massive bucket mouth shortly after we played the song.
Did you cast to it?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't
care.
like me, but
he didn't want your stuff.
No, but it was still, that's how it goes sometimes.
Did you use the turtle box? How was the new turtle box?
Fantastic. I did use the new turtle box. Yeah.
Well, when the fishing's slow, you can have a dance party if you got a turtle box on the boat. You can just do
the
that.
The dogs were definitely having a dance party.
Oh, that's right. You had both dogs.
2 dogs.
2 dogs.
Yep.
Like a 4-week-old lab. 5-week-old?
4 months old, but he is still...
that's what I meant. 4 months. That's what I meant. 16 weeks. Wow, wrong. I gotta drink some more coffee. Hold on. Where's my coffee?
Yeah, that was his first time. Like, not his first time on a boat, but that was his first time on a raft.
It's a raft, or as you called it, a blow-up boat.
I was like, well, I've never been in a blow-up boat.
A blow-up boat.
He's like, please don't say that.
Blow up boat. It's like a floaty.
It's a raft. Please don't say that.
It's a floaty.
Like, okay.
I appreciate the blow up boat phrase, but it's it's a raft.
Well, so really though, because I'm just so green to the fly fishing world, and so these past 2 days have been like a huge eye opener for me. Listening to like all the lingo, and there's a lot of lingo, by the way. I don't know if you guys realize that because you're in that world, but it's the same way with in the hunting world. There's all this lingo, and you have someone who's like really green to it. and you're talking all the talk and doing all the things, it's like, whoa, what is this? So I kind of got to be in that new space again through learning fly fishing. It's been a while since I've been so new to something.
The first time was when you were here like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and I just didn't even touch. I don't even think I tried. I was like,
I think I tried for like a second.
I was like, yeah, this is not. I'm gonna go cook food.
Yeah, we were doing a weird photo shoot.
It really was awkward.
It was a collaborative photo shoot with Collective Retreats, and that was the photo shoot for our website. And to give everybody some context of how Tori and I met, it was through Amber McKenna-Quinn, Amber Haynes McKenna-Quinn, who's a stud. I love her. She's amazing.
She is awesome. Yeah, she is.
She's great. And she put out a casting call because we were looking to make sure we included women in all of our imagery that we were shooting for the website. And Tori sent in like the most of every, a lot of people sent like, I'd like to be part of this shoot, like a email message.
I don't even know what you're about to say. I'm nervous.
Tori,
what did I send?
Tori sent.
I think I sent a media kit.
You did. She sent a media kit, and it was good, and it was professional. And so you've been pro from the beginning, and it made it so easy.
Wow. Thank you. So what's funny is I taught myself how to do all that stuff. I have a lot of fun doing that. That's like something I really like to do on the side.
Well, you're super artistic.
Canva. I just like to play on Canva and build things.
Is that how you made that? Was in Canva? Mm-hmm. That was early Canva then.
It was on Canva. Yeah. I used to just get on there and build menus and build like restaurant concepts and pitch decks, and weird. People don't know that part of me.
Well, you're super creative. And that was like one of the coolest things is when you showed up. The shoot was weird. We won't get into that. We can. That's another. If anybody wants to hear about that, you can just like send enough emails, and then we'll tell you about the weird photo shoot. But like otherwise, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. But what was cool is part of the food that we shot on that. Tori was there to model, and then she was like, "I'll jump in and get on this food."
I was like, "Y'all don't need me to model. I'm gonna do food."
We totally needed you to model, but she just got into like the food thing. And so a lot of the photos you see on our website, there's some photos of a board with some quail wings on it and stuff. And that was all driven by you. And we like riffed back and forth. We were like, let's do this and this and this.
So cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I love riffing. We didn't get to riff enough this weekend. We had
a really good weekend. I would say this weekend was really successful.
We did. And I've kind of watched from the distance. I've been stalking, lurking. I'm a stalker
too. I get that.
And have sort of just watched you do more and more stuff. I started to get super jealous because you're in Texas so much. And I didn't see you any of the times you were in Texas. And I was like, hey, and you'd already be booked, or like it just didn't work. And so I had to wait till hunting season was over to call you to get to meet up.
I've got some things open for next season though, so we'll have to do some stuff. I still have some time blocks open, so I'm excited.
Yeah, we should.
I love Texas though. Texas is special to me. I swear if I ever move like out of state, out of like Mississippi, Louisiana, I will probably end up in Texas.
You could just be a seasonal
I love
Texan.
Texas.
So it was really neat when I had this Hill Country Hoedown come up, and I was like, you know what? I called a couple chefs. I was like, you know what? I haven't tried calling Tori in a while. I'm going to see if it'll work out. And I was super stoked when you were like, this will work. And so this weekend, much like the last time that we met, it was the last time we were together.
Right.
And the first time we met was a meeting of a bunch of people who didn't know each other. Mm-hmm. And that's really what this weekend was too.
It was.
Another sort of curated community of great people. And it really, tell me your thoughts on the weekend. What were your highlights?
Oh man. Well, first of all, like coming into driving in, I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of nervous about doing some wild game demos just because I get a little nervous about like demoing stuff in front of people. Even after doing it, like I've done it so, like from then to now, I've done it so many times but I still get like nervy about it. And then I'm like, oh, who are all these new people I'm going to meet? But because that is a part of it. It's like, okay, these are the people you're going to work with and hang out with for the next 3 to 4 days. Like it is a gamble. I've showed up to jobs or showed up to be around people and you're like, these are not my people and I'm here. Mm-hmm. This was polar opposite from that though. It was a really beautiful experience. I think we all like really blended well together and we had a really good time working, which is,
I thought you and Kayla were going to like burn the whole place down or something.
I mean,
you guys were having so much
I'm
fun.
like, I'll teach, let's go hunting and you can take me fishing.
Yeah. And you went to a couple shows.
Yeah, we did. On a whim, decided to go see Zach Bryan. Then we saw Tyler Childers. So,
and more importantly, like you saw an icon, a legend.
Oh, we saw Winona Judd too.
Yeah,
that was that was a weird thing to see so many young people not know who she was, and I was just like, how do you people not realize like you're in the presence of a goddess?
Yeah.
But she would just like get on the microphone and be like, hey, I know y'all don't know me, but people used to.
I used to be.
She really like kind of relished in her. Yeah.
Big deal. And she is still a big deal. And it's
she had on 3 belts.
What?
That was the weirdest thing.
How do you wear 3 belts?
I don't know. She had on 3 belts. And they were big. Like with
wow. I might need to look a photo of this.
Yeah. She had 3 belts. Yep.
I could be into that. You know what to get me for Christmas now, Chris.
At least 1 belt.
At least 1. Find 2 other people. And I want big, like world champion rodeo belts.
Winona was definitely doing that.
One of the things that has stood out sort of after us initially meeting and then watching your path, your journey, is your connection to food, your connection to community, how you use wild game as a vehicle to tell your personal story and carry that out. And you're very open with that. Tell me a little bit about
with that.
Wild game, your story, how that plays out for you.
Yeah, I mean, I am very open about it. And sometimes I think it kind of like shocks people a little bit. But that also kind of keeps some people away, which probably does me some good. So my connection to, I used to not be very connected to food and nature and all those things. And I was just kind of running this crazy rat race. And when I went to culinary school, like being so close to food and wanting to, I wanted to be a good chef, but you're not really good at anything if you don't want to be connected to it. So was vegetarian for a little while in culinary school and then transitioned.
Wait, what a minute.
I know. I like to throw that in there and it blows people's mind.
You were vegetarian?
Yeah, for a little while in culinary school. When I learned kind of some of the things with factory farming and how different practices and stuff, my way of combating that was me and my children were just going to eat, vegetables and da-da-da-da. So I would I was just really trying to figure things out.
I did that too for a while.
It worked in Baton Rouge.
I'll admit that I was a vegetarian when I was younger for a little bit.
Yeah, I was just trying to I didn't want to take part those things. That was my way of being like, I'm not going to be a part of that. But we grow and we learn, and that's this has really evolved and come full circle. But I lived in Baton Rouge, so I had access to a Whole Foods and, places where I could go and spend a lot of money on organic vegetables. But when I moved back home after school, I didn't have that. I mean, the town that I moved back in with my parents when I moved back home, and the town that they lived in had a gas station and a Dollar General. But there's unlimited access to wild game, land. They lived on a lake, so there was just so much you could do. And I mean, my dad was a hunter, my brother was a hunter, so I grew up around hunting and fishing and all that. Knew I could fish and started gardening and doing all that stuff. But really, a few bad relationships and found myself needing to kind of be more connected to everything that I loved. And I found myself just retreating to nature. I'm kind of turning red right now because I'm talking about some really personal
stuff. Don't turn
red. So I retreated to nature for mental health purposes. And then kind of found myself every time I go out into the woods by myself, I'm a little nervous and, it's dark and taking brave steps little by little to, and then pulling the trigger, harvesting your first animal and dragging it in yourself and cleaning it yourself. And it just kind of opened me up to a whole different way of viewing life and connection. And it made me not feel as empty. I was even though you think you're taking life, so that's death, you think oh, well, this is a heartless act. Someone who doesn't hunt or isn't a part of that world or doesn't understand it, they kind of look at that as how do you just kill an animal? But it actually was the opposite for me. It kind of gave me life and made me really appreciate life. Whereas before I didn't have much appreciation for life. I've totaled like 9 cars. I've had a lot of crazy experiences and things where I just didn't really appreciate my life and realize like what a gift it is to be here.
Yeah.
So then I went down the path of like, oh, what I put into my body matters. And how can I communicate that to people without like being overbearing and pouring all the trauma on them? So I'll just make these beautiful dishes and try to tell a little story here and there. So
Yeah. And you do it really well. So,
I probably do it better writing than talking.
I don't know. I think, also, if people don't know this about you, you're an amazing singer.
Oh God.
You were singing last night and
That was tequila.
Really good. I don't know that the tequila was singing, but you were doing a great job.
Thanks.
You should sing more often.
It was wonderful.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed it so much.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, dang.
Uh-huh.
Dang.
That could be a whole nother facet to
Wow. So I'll start singing while I'm cooking. That's what I should do.
You should definitely sing. I sing and cook, but I do that so that my cooking tastes better because my singing's so freaking god awful. Like, man, you can't sing, but this food's not that bad. It's not as bad as your singing.
It changes the metric for you.
Also, he stopped singing when he served us the food. It's just like conditioning them. It's just like,
it can't be that bad. I don't believe you.
No, my singing's really bad. But people have heard it who have watched or listened to the show. They will have heard it in several episodes, and I'm excited. Would fully say, "Oh my God, don't let him sing." But it's good to have friends who know how to sing. Whitetail hunting, was that your primary?
That was my first love. Yeah,
was whitetail hunting. So it was big game.
First love.
But lately, I see you out like
so many ducks. Yeah,
like it's been ducks.
It's been a fun transition. So I fell in love with whitetail hunting. Let's see, that was kind of when I was first getting into hunting, and what it was the meditative part of that, to go out and to be by myself. I was like packing. I was such a freaking weirdo. I still like to do this though, like packing a little lunch, or like whole family knows like, okay, so it's whitetail season. Tori's unavailable for like 8 hours a day. Like this is, and to go out there and like not talk to anyone, not have any phone service, and just be completely by myself in the woods. People are like, what did you see? And I'm like, I saw a squirrel, I saw a raccoon, I saw 16 birds, and there was a doe and a yearling and a buck, and like watching animal patterns, watching how deer move. I really fell in love with that. Even during hunting seasons, I would take my dog and work her. And let her like retrieve ducks and stuff for people. But I was never really even comfortable with a shotgun until just recently, honestly. Like I'm comfortable with a rifle and I'm comfortable with my bow, but it's taken a long time for me to just say, okay, I'm going to go shoot some ducks. I mean, I've gone out hunting and stuff, but I'd gone on a few duck hunts and this and that, but not anything like what this year's been like.
Did you learn to call this year? Did you do some calling? Did you get into that?
I have not learned to call, and I would like to. I'm not there yet, though.
Yeah, I'm not very good.
I'm baby stepping.
Mine is like, hey.
Yeah, I'm
hey,
baby stepping
ducks,
for sure.
I'm over here. Food looks good. Yeah, no.
Yeah. And I have no shame in saying, like, I think that there are a lot. I usually end up with some people who are pretty good at it. Mm-hmm. And, like, y'all do that.
That's the problem is every time I go duck hunting, there's somebody who's better at that than me.
Yeah.
And so I just kick back. But this year, I'm calling and throwing spreads and like running my dog and doing the whole thing.
I'm going to have to come for some of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. You should come for teal season.
Absolutely.
I'm doing 3 different dates of teal with Amber from McKenna Quinn.
Okay.
We should do that.
Yeah, I would love to. That'd be great.
September 8th through the 14th. And then there's Dove right before that. And you're gonna you should probably just come to Texas for September.
Just be here for September.
I think
I might plan to do that. I would like that. Yeah.
Do you have gigs lined up in Texas? I'm
kind of waiting to get the exact dates, but I think that's going to be more of like a late November, December thing. It's weird though. Last season, things I didn't really know exactly where I was going to be and what I was going to be doing until it was finally like mid-September when I looked up and I was on the road for 27 days straight. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be busy. Cause like, I just kept taking things. I'd be like, oh, I have this slot. I have I can come to Tennessee in between the 9th and the 11th and then fly to Michigan and then drive to Florida. and then I was like, okay, I think I'm good. Like I got home just in time for Christmas. Well, 2 weeks before Christmas, but, no, it was a week before Christmas. So, but yeah, I will. There's a place, I can't think of the name of the place that I'm going to be in Texas this year. But a friend of mine started managing this ranch, and I think I'll be there at least 2 or 3 weekends.
What area is it?
I don't even know. I want to say Creek is in the name of the place. Something. There's a lot of Creek. That doesn't help. Is it
West Cibolo?
No, I really don't. I'll have to look.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I'll be there. I'll show up.
Okay. Yeah.
They'll be like, did you come here? No, I came here to eat. Can I just get the eating package? I don't really want to shoot anything. Let's talk about Beretta, because that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's really exciting for me. Yeah, so I did a few hunts with them and Shoot Like a Girl, where I was actually, I hunted, but I was also the wild game chef and did some demos for, it was like a group of women, a turkey hunt, and they did a duck hunt also in Texas. And each one of those, I prepared a wild game dish with something that, the girls had harvested. The cool thing about those were, like I said, I was able to hunt too. So it was a little extra work on me because, you're like, okay, I have to have all this stuff prepped out and ready to like teach people how to cook, but I'm also going to go stalk this turkey every time I can. So it's like squeeze 4 hunts in and do all the cooking. So after the turkey hunt with Shoot Like a Girl and Beretta reached out to me and we did a little film piece, duck hunt in Frogmore, Louisiana. My brother got to come on a hunt with me, and I think that's going to come out in the next few months. So I'm thinking end of August, September, that'll be released. And
cool.
Yeah, so it's been really cool. They're a great company. I like their guns. I'm comfortable with a shotgun now. So
nice.
And I love my gun.
What are you shooting?
It is a A400 Extreme. Nice. So, and I wish I could think of the pattern because I love the way it looks too.
That's on it.
Yeah, I love the way it looks too.
Oh, nice.
It's Optifade pattern. So
there you go.
Yeah.
But you also shoot a rifle. What kind of rifle are you shooting?
So I have a Tikka. Just got a Tikka 6.5 Creedmoor. It's a Rough Tech Ember.
Nice.
It's got like the orange. It's black with like the orange splatter.
What kind of optics do you have on it?
I have a Leopold
nice.
Scope on there. Yeah.
They make a good scope.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good.
Yeah. We'll have to drag you to Swarovski. Drag you to the dark side.
I'm a fan of Swarovski. No,
nice.
So my mentor, when I first started whitetail hunting, I was really fortunate when I first started hunting because I had, a mentor that really took me under his wings and showed me all the tricks of the trade and let me use his gear and all those things. And the Swarovski binoculars were always, which is kind of funny because now like I pick up a regular pair of binoculars and I'm like, I really don't need those.
It's funny because when I had my first like really nice pair of binoculars, the Swaros, when I picked up those Swarovskis and I looked through them because I hated binoculars. Like I always looked through them.
No,
that was never good. I picked them up. I was like, oh my goodness.
I can see clearly.
Yeah, I understand why people use these things. You can actually see. Also, I learned to hold them the right way.
Yeah.
You don't look through the big end. Oh, man, I don't know. It's this thing I learned.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't look through the big end.
I've been doing it wrong.
You've been doing it all
so
wrong.
Long.
But
so long.
What is it called? Macro photography? Micro photography? I feel like it should be micro, but I think it's called macro when you're taking photos of small things. Is that Matthew? Can we get a fact check on that?
Do we need to phone a friend?
We're supposed to get a thing here.
My best guess is because the final product is a macro image. You're taking something very small.
Oh, you're taking something big?
And you're taking something small and you're making it very big. It's macro.
Been doing it my whole life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what I liked about the Swarovski binoculars I used to use too, while we're still on that?
Yeah.
This is how much I loved them, by the way, is they had the rangefinder on them. So that was another thing that spoiled me because
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, so I was like hunting on this great property and everything's good. And I've got the great binoculars, but it's like, okay, spread your wings, girl. Go hunt on your own. And I'm like, I can't. I have to use regular binoculars and I have to have a rangefinder separate. Do people do that? But I didn't even realize at the time that was like really a thing. Yeah, I didn't even realize
this is not
how
convenient.
I didn't realize how fortunate I was until like I had to get out there and like, oh my God, like what are people doing?
Yeah. Like this is not as easy. No, but you know what? It's really great to be blessed to get an entry point with a good mentor, with somebody who really brought you in and spoiled the crap out of you.
Well, so the thing is too, like, yeah, but I mean, but it's also like set the tone for how I want to help others. Yeah. And how, like, if I can, like, I don't think I can I don't have any of those binoculars to share with anyone, but like, you know, how I would, like, I want to say, like, yeah, come with me. Like, yeah, use my gun, use my things. Like, let's do this the right way so that because it really did make hunting easier for me to learn. Like, I had all the tools and things I needed and the support.
We talked about that when I was podcasting with Kayla and Rebecca Jones, who you met the other day, and I was talking about that. And it's, you know, for me, I entered the world of hunting and was very spoiled too. I was very fortunate, you know, to be able to use and have good gear. And it took me a while longer to come to a place where I had to strip down and take things away and say, okay, you can do this without all of this stuff.
Right.
You know, you don't need a bunch of stuff to go do things. And I think that there's, you know, I feel a little bit robbed actually, because I kind of wish that I'd started with like, hey kid, here's your, actually I did start with an 1100 shotgun, a Remington 1100 with a full choke hunting dove. That was freaking hard. I was like, I'm missing these birds all the time. Wait, if I shoot them at 60 yards, I can hit them. Right. So that's like I had to shoot these. But I do think that there's something to, you know, growing up. Did you grow up hunting, or was that later on? You grew up fishing, but did you grow up hunting?
So I grew up around hunting. Yeah. I mean, every weekend of duck season, it was like a known thing that my dad and my brother were going to be at duck camp. They actually had a camp called Camp No Ducks. What is it? DEAUX? No Ducks.
No Ducks. Oh.
So, yeah, I grew up knowing that like that was a part of our family like lifestyle, but I didn't kill my first deer until I was 23, 24, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I grew up around it. My grandfather did. It was a part of like everyone around me's life, but I wasn't hunting.
Do you think, was that because you were a woman?
No. Well, yeah, I mean, and like, not to knock my dad or anything, but that was like their place. That's where that's where the guys went. They went to duck camp. Now I went out there a few times and like I would shoot beer cans and go out there in the summer and I hung out with the dudes. I was a tomboy.
You don't say.
I was a tomboy.
I would never guess.
Yeah, I was a tomboy. I tried to not be a tomboy sometimes, but I was always a tomboy.
You like to go do the stuff.
Yeah.
I like to do the stuff. Cantrell, you grew up hunting.
No,
you didn't.
I'm an adult onset hunter.
You are?
I am.
When did you first start hunting?
Probably like mid-20s.
Okay.
And I started with an 870 Express 20 gauge.
Oh, nice.
Walmart special that my brother had.
What were you hunting for?
Rabbits.
I freaking love rabbits.
So yummy.
We were chasing rabbits and occasionally dove because that's all we had.
Rabbits are so good.
Rabbits are delicious. I killed a lot of rabbits that year, and we ate a lot of rabbits that year, and it was delicious. But yeah, I'm an adult. I grew up fishing.
Did you know that rabbit is the only thing that you can go crazy from? You can be
rabbititis,
protein poisoned. The whole like saying like crazy as a March hare or wild as a March hare or whatever it is because I mean you would have to only eat rabbit. You have to only strictly. I mean. Like just a regular diet of a couple rabbits a week is not going to get you there. You would have to eat just rabbit, but you would get protein poisoning, which I don't want to try to talk about what that is because I have no idea.
It's like hyperketosis or something.
I have no idea what it means.
So
they called it rabbititis back in the day.
Wait, so does that have anything to do with the Because I know like you shouldn't eat rabbits when it's a hot month or whatever. Like you're only supposed to really.
If it ends in R.
Right.
Or has an R in it.
Yeah, that's more like
months.
worms and stuff like that.
So that doesn't have anything to do with the crazy stuff.
No, the crazy thing is just the protein. Like if you have too much protein,
they have no fat.
You can go insane.
Yeah.
So if I were to bring you a rabbit, like if Chris were to run out right now and shoot a rabbit.
Yeah.
What would you do? How would you cook it?
Oh, I would do like a rabbit sauce piquant probably.
What does that mean?
Can you explain that to those of us?
I don't know what you just said.
Sauce piquant.
Oh.
So that I guess cooked down in a tomato-based sauce with like the Trinity, celery, onion, bell pepper, but dredge it in flour and then cook it down with all that yummy stuff and make like a red gravy.
Oh yeah.
A little bed of rice.
A little red gravy. Is that like?
It's a South Louisiana thing.
Yeah, is it a red gravy? Yeah. Is that like pasta sauce?
No,
bolognese.
No, not like
Chef Boyardee.
Not like like Italian, not with like the Italian seasonings and stuff.
Yeah,
so more
herbs.
of like tomato base, cooked down roux type tomato kind of So like, no, you can't say Italian.
It is not Italian.
French.
Yeah.
Inspired French.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because French Cajun that's kind of like, the nature of South Louisiana cuisine is a lot of French influence. So,
yeah. Chris, how would you prepare a rabbit if I gave you a rabbit?
We did it. We made this one rabbit dish one time, and it was kind of like a chicken pot pie, where we spatchcocked a rabbit, kind of, I guess. It was a cottontail, and we did like not the holy trinity of Louisiana, but the mirepoix sort of vegetables. The other trinity.
Carrots, onion, celery. Yeah.
And then added some bone broth that we had cooked down from some deer, some whitetail. And then we made like a cornbread. It was cornbread. And we like put it on like the cornbread. The batter. Cornbread batter. And like covered the top of everything with it and put it in a Dutch oven.
This sounds really amazing.
That sounds really good.
I love that. You really explained that well.
It was so good. And like we threw, because, green chili so I'm New Mexican-ish, but I love my green chili and cornbread. So yeah, like cornbread topped.
Yum.
Sort of rabbit pot pie kind of thing. I would do that any day.
Cornbread is so good.
I love cornbread.
Cornbread is...
With butter and honey, with not butter and honey in my chili.
Yes. Cornbread with mustard greens.
How about hoe cakes? No, Johnny cakes.
Johnny cakes. Johnny cakes are a thing. Do you know about Johnny cakes?
Yeah, cornbread pancake basically.
Yeah.
So freaking good.
It's poor man's food.
Let's make some Johnny cakes with like rabbit.
I so would. I put those on a menu one time. At a restaurant I was at, I think a local magazine did an article about it because I was so excited about them.
About the Johnny cakes?
Yeah, my dad used to make them when I was little. What he would do though is he doesn't like leftovers, so he would take like anything from the night before and like recreate it. And one of his things was like if we had cornbread the night before, he would wake up the next morning and like remake the freaking cornbread and douse it in like steamed syrup. And he was like, Johnny Cakes. His name is Johnny too. So I grew up thinking like he was the creator of Johnny Cakes. But then I had to do when I put it on a menu, I did this full on like research of like the origins of Johnny Cakes. And, soldiers used to use them because they could carry them in their pockets when they... Yeah. I learned a lot about them though. But
it sounds like you have a history of Johnny Cakes. You know what's funny?
I just got so excited when I was like, oh my God.
I had my mom's name is Johnny. People would say Joni, spelled Joni. So a lot of people, Joni or Johnny? Anyways, her name is Johnny Lee. Oh, and I'm Joshua David.
Johnny Lee.
Christopher Earl.
Victoria Lynn.
Say it again.
Victoria Lynn.
I love it.
I say mine like I'm country. I'm like Christopher Earl, but like I don't talk like that. I'm like, it's Christopher Earl, but because Victoria's in the room, Tori.
Everybody has to use their twang when I'm here because that's like,
I just sort of mirror that accent.
Help me feel normal.
So my mom's a Johnny Lee. John Lee, get
I
in
like
here.
that.
So one of my early restaurants when I was younger called Trios, I put Johnny Cakes, and I spelled them Joni. Johnny Cakes
love that.
on the menu. Yeah.
Wow. We just bonded over Johnny
simpatico.
Cakes. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
My heart.
Okay, we're gonna make a rabbit. How about a squirrel? How about we do a squirrel?
Yeah, because I'm not trying to take chances on going crazy. I love rabbit, but
Yeah.
squirrel, yeah.
We could shoot a squirrel. We'll shoot a squirrel, and we'll make a squirrel Johnny Cake thing.
Yeah.
Like the next time you're here.
We could do fried squirrel and Johnny Cakes and Steens, and then like some pork belly.
Who's a Steen?
Steens,
Is that a
cane
family?
syrup.
Is that a family?
You don't know what Steens? You do know what Steens is.
But not everybody
Or like
does.
molasses.
I don't.
See, Cantrell doesn't know what Steens
I don't
is.
believe you right
I
now.
don't. My ties to the South don't exist. I'm from the West.
Well, you've already learned about grits.
Polenta.
We're not doing any
White trash
polenta.
polenta. Is that what you're calling grits?
That was harsh. They're
No
grits.
polenta.
Grits and grillades.
That's good stuff.
That is good stuff.
I love grits.
What do we got coming up next? When are you going to be in Texas next?
I'm
with
coming
me?
in September.
September?
Yeah,
Is it
I'm
going to
gonna
be all
come.
the way till then? Can you come
I'll
meet
come
us
back.
in Arkansas?
Yeah. Hell
Can
yeah,
you come
brother.
fish the White River with us in Arkansas?
Yes, I'll cook.
She can. She
Food.
can
Okay,
fish it very
we're
well.
going to leave here on May 6th,
Okay.
and we're going to...
Wait, that's...
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. What if I cry right now?
Yeah, we're leaving. We're going to go to the White River. We're going to be there for, I don't know, like 10 days. And we're going to
Okay.
fish, and you can come for as little or as much of it as you want
So
to.
I'll just call you and be like, hey, I'm going to come meet y'all.
Yeah, we're camping, you
Yeah,
know.
I know how to
So-
camp. I'm a camper.
Yeah, okay.
Sweet.
I'm a camper too. Chris is a camper. And that's going to be like the beginning of like our whole summer
Yeah.
tour. Do you have stuff planned in the summer? What do you do? Because
So I was thinking about getting a real job for a little bit, just because this is like my downtime. But like if I can have things like that to do, then I'm definitely don't
stack
necessarily
that
want a
cash
real
for the
job.
hunting season, or
Yeah, well, I do. Okay, wait, I do have some things.
Ooh,
I always forget. I got really excited about that. Just my brain was. I was
Did I-
like,
did
I
I-
just
did I
envisioned
ADD
myself.
you
Yeah, I
into-
just envisioned myself with the open fire, and we're all hanging out and all the things, and
Yeah.
so that got
You
exciting.
singing.
Yeah. I don't
Mason
know.
actually might come.
Mason needs to come.
Mason's
be
thinking
really
about
cool.
coming.
You two sang together last night a little bit, and
We
it was
did.
magical.
It was.
Y'all, I just can't believe y'all think I sing good. That's so kind.
Yeah, and actually here's the thing. Chris had been drinking. I actually hadn't been drinking.
So
I
this
was-
is
I
this
only
was
had
not
a couple
this is
drinks,
not
so-
impaired judgment.
Wait,
is what
you
you're
weren't
saying.
drinking, but you only had a couple drinks.
I might have a problem. It's fine. That's another podcast
What
about
do you
how.
consider drinking? That's
Well,
what we
I
need
mean,
to,
anything over like 6 or 7 drinks is probably
well,
drinking.
then I wasn't drinking.
Oh, yeah, but
Tori wasn't drinking,
I was.
but we were like three deep.
That was why I was brave enough to sing. But I like to sing. So my great aunt was in a show band, and she traveled like the country
kind of
singing.
band?
She said she was in a show band.
What is this show? I don't know
I
what
guess
that
it's
is.
like, well, she's like 70 something now.
Oh.
So whatever I guess she was like in a band that traveled everywhere across.
That's
and
pretty cool.
Would pop up and do gigs, and so. But okay, so
we're gonna get you in a show band.
no, no, you're not. Okay, so back to the schedule. So
Yeah,
end of
okay.
May, I'm going to be in California at the ranch. That's the name of the place. We're doing a women's warrior hunt retreat. It's a bow hunting retreat. It's a group of probably 10 of us kind of put this thing on, and I'll be cooking, and other people will be teaching women how to use their bow, and they'll do like a 3D archery shoot. It's like a 4 to 5 day event. I'll be doing some open fire cooking and feeding everybody.
That's really cool.
Really excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. Can I come? No, I can't. Damn.
You could. You probably could.
I don't. I have a dress, but I do not pass as a woman.
Okay, we've been
the
talking about
beard.
those things a lot too lately.
The beard's a hard giveaway, Josh.
I'm stoked. I'm really glad you came here.
It's been fun. I'm glad I came too.
let this go this long.
No, well, I'm showing up to the camping trip in Arkansas now.
So I'm stoked because we can record a podcast there, and we should video. Let's make this squirrel or rabbit, or I have some rabbit, so
okay.
We have some non-R month sharp. This is April, but May doesn't have an R in it, so
there's always
I don't understand what you just said to me because May does not have an R in it, and it's clearly hotter.
That's not Mayor
than April.
Mayor, well as my mentor in guiding taught me about August. I was like, you shot a rabbit? It's August. He's like, August. And I was like, all right, you're still around.
So May. Wait, you can only shoot them in months with R's.
With an R in it.
So we could shoot them. We could take care of it now. Yeah, like right now.
Argus.
In April. Are we in April? What month is it?
Can we talk like this? April.
I like how you're adding an R to
either way.
With an R in it. April.
God bless anyone who stuck in this long into this conversation. I love you both. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. It's been great.